Okay, recording. Today is secret tip. Don't tell anybody. Keep it to yourself. You can use it on people. It's to move a dot from your hand to another place. Okay? To another person's hand. So you pretend that you're throwing it to their hand. So what you do is you go up and hold their hand. And you make out that you're being loving and nice and kind and getting to know their hand, okay? And then you get, beforehand, you set this up. You get a permanent marker, take out the ink, and on the tip of the lid, you put a bit of blue tack. What you do is you colour it in with permanent marker all throughout it, so that it's dense like blue tack. Stick it on the tip, on the lid. You put the lid, when you get it going, your trick, you take the lid off, put it at the other end. What that does is it puts the nib with the blue tack on the nib. You can take it off discreetly when you're ready, and you can put it on their hand by holding their hand, turning the hand upside down, which makes them not see it. And you go on about this thing. So beforehand, the first part of the trick, you've got normal kids wipeable felt, which can wash off with your spit. You draw a teeny tiny X on their hand, right? But the thing is, what you've actually done is touched their other hand and pre-placed a blue tack, X-shaped blue tack, coloured in, blue tack. Looks like a bit of felt. It's not. It's blue tack, but it will seem like felt. And your pen, you draw a teeny tiny X. You get used to drawing that little X, the same size, same shape, and put it on the other hand. But then, as you take your hand away after drawing it, you just wipe it off. You pinch it. You say, "Look, I'm going to pinch it," and you do this. You get. Here's my body. I'm trying to film myself pinching it, but anyway, I pinched it, okay? Pretend I pinched it and stuck it on the other hand by throwing it. But the truth is, the very first moment, 60 seconds before, because you've got to get 60 seconds in, right? You've got to take 60 seconds for their minds to forget that you touched their hand. Distance of time between writing. First, before you write, you touch their other hand, hold their hand, you put the other hand, the hand that you put the blue tack on, put it on the inside while holding their hand, then you put your other hand on top and turn it up the right way so that you're drawing it. So you're holding both of your hands, planting the blue tack on the underhand, or on the top, you have an upper hand. And you draw a teeny tiny X with the ink that can wipe off as soon as you grab it, pull it off, and then you say, right, I've got your spot, okay? Now close your hand, don't look at it, but I've got your spot, believe me, I've got your spot. Then you throw it, tell them to close the other hand, alright, beforehand. You throw it at the other hand, you go, look at the magic. And what happens is, clearly the blue tack that you pre-planted is in the other hand, but they haven't paid attention to that because you've given them a 60-second gap where you wrote on their hand, and you took it off their hand. Get them to keep their hand closed so they don't look on it, just in case there's still some left. And you throw it. But usually you get good at mixing your ink so that it comes off with a single wipe. So you thin it down until it's just drawable, so it's nearly run out. But you draw it, and you can make it quite dark, but not absorb or dryable, so quite damp and unstickable. So it can be a dark solution of food colouring, but you can wipe it off just with your finger. Right, so that's the trick. So what you do is everything I said. Pre-prepare, getting a special pen that looks like it's permanent, make it not permanent, plant create an X, colour it in, dry it, practice putting it on somebody, practice drawing until your mix is correct, and once you've mastered getting that ink off, then all the stages are prepared for rigging, then action. Okay, so come up with your script on how you want to say it. Go watch some videos of somebody doing it. It's all rigged, but don't tell anyone, because that's the magic's code. Keep that secret, okay? So you take your rigged pen, take your plant it on them, distract them from thinking about it. Don't let them even know that you're planting it on them. Keep that hand out of mind, out of sight. Their mind somewhere else, protect their mind somewhere else. Draw that thing, pluck it off, throw it at the plant hand quite a few seconds later, and that'll make their mind forget that you held their hand. And they'll be too busy looking at what's going on the show, you know. Flick, and then they'll be like, some people get the nib of a permanent marker and actually mark their finger with a teeny tiny X while they're holding their hand. Sometimes you can cut the thing into an X and it's the same size, it's permanent marker, and it's teeny tiny nib that you can fit under your tuck place. And you go up to their hand, hold their hand, put that X stamp on their hand. You don't have to use blue tack, because if they find a blue tack, they'll go, what a cheap, what a rip-off, what a con. So yes, most people use stamps, not so much the blue tack. And they plant it early, they get distracting kind of pen nib. They got two pens. One is a mini stamp hidden under their palm, and another one is acting one that's out front, but it's easily wiped off. Though it's a dark writing, it's not permanent. It's through colouring. And you can try to find ways to darken up your ink, your fake ink. There's this ink called invisible ink. It writes nice and black, made out of potato juice, has dark food colouring, but it wipes off just with a touch. But when you heat it, it comes back again. So you can go, watch this, I'll take it off. It's another way you can do it. But you've drawn it on, and it's not going to come off. And with a bit of, just tell them, I want you to rub your hands together, rub them, and if it's permanent ink but invisible ink, then it'll come back by heating it. Imagine if you could burn their hand and it would appear. They'd be like, even if you could just stamp somewhere else on their hand, their card that they chose. Because there's these cards that are rigged, and you can see them, see from the back what card it is. There's all the scribbly gooblies on it, but the thing is, those scribbly gooblies, you actually can read what card it is. You're giving away too many secrets, magnetic card man.